Hello, my name is Madelyn.
My name is Sara.
My name is Josh. And this is our podcast that we are going to be making over the course of who knows how long. But we found out that a fifth book of the Twilight series will be coming out.
No, 7.
What do you mean 7?
There was Twilight Reimagined, where the genders were swapped, and then the novella.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
No,
I
yeah,
stand
it was
corrected.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got a lot to read then.
I love that. Okay,
Anyway,
well, the 7th mysterious book of the Twilight series, and we just wanted to go into it, rereading the books that haven't already been done. And I've read, I guess, the main 4, which I forgot there were 4 until the other day. I thought there were only 3, but and that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna read the new one and talk about that one, and it's gonna be iconic.
For some backstory, when the first book came out in 2005 or 2006, when we were in elementary school, but I'm sure we all read them I read them in 6th grade / over the course of when they were all released. But I started reading them in 6th grade, and it was like before or around the time that the movie came out, because that's when everybody kind of got into it that was our age, and I was like so obsessed with it that I took a picture of Alice from the movie to the hair salon and told them, I want this. And I styled my hair like Alice every day. I had the crest necklace from Hot Topic that I wore every day. I cosplayed as Alice every day. And my friends, like, guys don't understand. At my friend's birthday party, my friend illegally found the script for New Moon, and we acted it out.
Oh my god.
Like, I was obsessed.
Oh my god.
With Twilight.
Very impressive.
I feel like I was the only one, for sure out of like the 3 of us, I'm the only one that hasn't read them. I read like 5 pages of the first book and then I just got, for some reason, I was like, I don't want to read this. This is she's too emotional, too blah, blah, blah at that point. And I was like, nah, I didn't really get into it. And then, like you were just saying, like the first movie came out and I jumped into it. And then one friend that we all know, she actually had a birthday party that was Twilight themed. I'm not gonna say who it is.
Wait, I don't know.
Her mom was our school nurse.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. John, you know who it is.
Yep.
No shade to this girl. She was very nice. I
love her. I absolutely love her.
Yeah, she was very nice.
And she's a nurse now. It's insane. It's insane. But like, so whatever. So we were at the birthday party, and so the first part of it at the house, she had Twilight themed cupcakes, and like the entire place was decorated in Edward or Jacob.
Oh my god.
And at the time, we were going to go to the movie that just came out. I believe it was New Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And we were broken up into 2 groups. Either we were Team Edward or Team Jacob. And they're like, for real though, it was only maybe 3 people for Team Edward. And I was like, I'll be on Team Edward. And then since then, I was just like, I don't really know where I stand, but I don't know. It was really funny. And then I thought I was really funny, but now it's stayed with me this whole time. I was Team Carlisle.
Oh yeah! Oh my god, I forgot that you loved Carlisle. Josh, did you know that?
Oh my god, I love him.
Sarah loved Carlisle.
Love him.
Like my affinity for Alice is Sarah's affinity for Carlisle.
Yes.
Who was everybody? What team were we all?
Okay, this is a loaded question.
Of the movie. It's so easy, it's not even funny. Let's try to guess. Josh? What? No, let's try to guess. We'll all guess what each other is.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Josh? So we should go by after we'd read everything and seen all the movies, where we stood at the end, despite what, obviously what happens.
Yeah. Well,
we should go based off of then.
As an adult, but guess what I am for books and movies through and through. If you get this wrong, we can't be friends anymore.
Oh, shit.
Edward or Jake?
Team Edward.
Josh, guess.
I'm going to run away
Edward.
now.
What?
Edward.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Josh, you were definitely... Oh, I feel like you could go either way. I feel like... Yeah. Sarah, what do you think?
I don't know. Based off your reaction of what I said earlier, I'm going to also say Edward.
Yeah.
I was like hardcore Edward when I read it, and then when I saw the movies, I was like Taylor Lautner, which isn't really the answer. But yeah.
Okay, Sarah.
Matt, I gotta say something. Is that like that reaction you just had? Is that like your reaction to Channing Tatum?
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I don't like Channing Tatum.
Like all of high school, we were like, he looks like a thumb.
Oh yeah, my mom told me.
Oh my god.
Okay, Sarah, you were definitely Team Edward. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, at the end, yeah. It was honestly though, but it was like every movie I would switch between the two the entire time, but at the very end I obviously
I was hardcore at Team Edward.
I like remember at the end though, I don't know if this is just me remembering things weird, but like I think I remember that Jacob was really annoying at the end. Like
movie or book?
I don't know.
I mean, he did like end up getting with her daughter.
Which is weird. Oh my gosh. You named my daughter
the monster.
Wow. Oh right, because like he imprinted on her.
Yeah, exactly.
That's weird. There's a lot to unpack with this.
Okay, well, I think our goal for like this first one is just like to kind of like throw all the things out that we kind of vaguely remember and like reminisce on them before we start the first book. So like, I guess we should try to focus on the first book, but honestly, some of the stuff I say might be from like the last book, and I'm not.
Can for me, is it okay if I bring up like similarities from the first movie, since that's really all I know?
Yeah, whatever.
Does that work? Because like obviously things are different from book to movie. You have to
Just
take
say what you thought about the movie, because I have a lot of thoughts on the first movie. But Sarah, I want to hear yours.
Got it. Okay. Well, somebody jump in.
I said I want to hear yours.
Oh, me? Okay. So with the movie, I like at the very beginning, first seeing it, I thought it was super, super good, but I just had like some problems with how, I don't know, it just seemed like she was just so angsty that I couldn't get past it at times.
Yeah.
That it was just kind of like, you know, it drug on just a little bit, but then something else would happen. It would take your attention away. And then, you know, it seemed like, I think my biggest thing with the first movie was that Charlie's character didn't seem very developed at all. Like he kind of like what?
Who's Charlie? I don't remember.
Oh my god, the dad!
How dare you call yourself a Twilight fan?
It's been so long.
A Twihard.
Okay, sorry, you go.
But can we talk about the scene? Okay, I've seen this movie like recently, like as in like within the past 3 months.
Oh, holy crap! Okay,
maybe
it's been a while.
But do you guys remember the scene where she has to like leave town because James is gonna kill her? So she tells her dad like, "I don't want to live with you anymore. I don't like you." That scene, I literally cried. It was so sad.
I got so mad because she was like, obviously saying the same things her mom said to him when she left.
Yeah.
And then she starts like breaking down. You're like, you did, like it was just so much like anger, but then I was so sad at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else are your thoughts on the movie?
Do you remember any of that, Josh?
Here's like, I don't remember a lot from the first one. I remember like Edward like is always really uncomfortable because he likes her smell because her blood, and she's like just sitting in the corner stewing and angry. I remember there's like a whole car thing.
Oh my god, yeah. When she's walking back from the bookstore, right? And then those like guys pop out of nowhere.
Yeah, and he goes boom, and then he's sparkly. There's werewolves.
Yep.
And she's like, I want to be a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like, no, you need to think about it. And then she's like, what do you mean?
Yeah. So I love the first movie. It's by far my favorite as like an adult, having seen them more recently. I think that the first one, it was before it was like really popular. The books were really popular, but the movie didn't have like that big of a budget, and it was more kind of like an indie film. It was it was the only one that was directed by a woman. And I think it like fits truer to the vision of not only the this is so dorky. Not only the books, but the vampires, because it was all like cool toned. The other movies were all warm toned. There were a lot of like reds and browns, but also the cool tones is more like true of the area of the Pacific Northwest. I just think the first one is a lot like it's just like more beautiful and like visually, and it's better.
Way more like because it's so much more like grayscale, it's way moodier.
Yeah.
And you get more into like that. I don't really know how like what emotion you want to attach to it, but it's just like it's not quite like a sense of dread as the movie goes on, but you're just you're anticipating something's gonna pop up, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it makes it more, I don't know. I'll find the word, but
yeah, just like the cool tones compared to the other movies is so much better to me. Well, I like the first one the best. Josh?
Which is the question, what's my favorite movie or book?
No, just your thoughts on the first movie.
Yeah.
Slash book. Sara didn't read the book, so she doesn't.
Right. I just like don't. Okay, I'm like really struggling to like. I can remember how the whole series ended, kind of, but like I don't even really remember what like was the major plot thing in the first one. I think it has to do with like boundaries between the vampires and the.
Okay, do you want me to recap it for you?
Sure. I mean, yeah, whatever.
So it starts, Bella's moving from Phoenix to Forks to live with her dad because she's so selfless, because she wants her mom to be able to travel with her stepdad, who is a minor league baseball player.
So I forgot about that.
She moves to Forks, and it's her choice, but she's of course very angsty about it. So she goes to school, and she's just very like, oh, I'm just so but then everybody was like obsessed with her, and she kind of makes her little click with Angela, Jessica, Mike, and what was the other guy's name? Eric. Yeah. And so they're all like obsessed with her, but then of course the only one she cares about is Edward, who she sees in her class, in her biology class, and she walks in the room and he goes and he smells good. Then they're doing biology and he's like really cold to her. And then she's sitting in the cafeteria with her friends, and the Cullens all walk in and they're all like really hot and weird and they're all dating each other.
Yeah.
And then stuff happens, and then he stops the van that was gonna hit her because he was so strong.
Yes.
Remember that?
Oh, can we talk about that for a hot second?
Yeah.
Literally, I remember the first time I saw that happen, I was so taken aback by it, and I was like, "Oh my god, he just crunched a car to save her life." And then like the second time I watched it, it was like, "Oh my god." Like it just looked like you could see more like the special effects of it.
Yeah.
I laughed at it like the second time I saw it because I just couldn't take it seriously. But yeah, the part, like the sentiment of what he did still like sticks, but just looked a little funny to me.
You love to see it. So that happened, and then she's like, what the heck, like that wasn't human, and he's like denying it. So then he's like, I need to keep my distance from her. But then he changes his mind, and they go and I forgot that her dad, Charlie, is friends with Jacob's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And they live on the reservation.
Yeah.
So then she goes to the beach. Wait, in what order?
No,
no. Trust me. She goes to the beach, and she with her friends. She invited Edward, but he said no. And she ends up meeting Jacob there, seeing Jacob there. and
I remember Taylor Lautner on a motorcycle, right?
That was in the second one.
Yeah, it's the second one after Edward leaves.
And it was really ugly.
Yeah.
So he tells her about like, oh, the Cullens can't come here. He didn't really believe it at the time, but he's like, oh, there's this weird like theory that like we're descended from wolves and they're like the cold ones, vampire, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, huh, what the heck? So then she goes she's gonna go to there's a field trip somewhere in there and nothing relevant happens.
Yeah, the worms.
Then she goes to Port Angeles with Jessica and Angela because they're shopping for prom dresses. And she was asked to prom by Mike, but she said no, of course, because she's crushing on Edward. So when she's there, she like gets this book on vampires. But then these like she's walking out of the bookstore and all these like creepers are coming up to her, like these group of men. And then Edward swings by in a Volvo and picks her up. And then they go on their first date to this quirky little restaurant.
Yep.
And she catches up with their friends. And they're like, yeah, go on your date with Edward. And so in there, he admits that he can read minds. So then she goes home. She's like, wait, vampires exist.
I remember like a Google sesh happening.
Yeah.
Google vampires, and there was all these weird images, and this song played that was like,
You just have such a vast knowledge of this, and I'm like, it was a moment in my life that I forgot.
I don't think you understand how obsessed with this I was.
The only thing is after he saves Bella from the van in the parking lot, they go to the hospital to get checked out, and then
I'm sorry,
Dr. Cullen comes in.
Yes, I'm sorry I forgot about Carlisle.
No, I did say love.
So then they're kind of like doing whatever, and they're like the talk of the school. And then she takes him into the woods, and she's in the classic, I know what you are. Your skin is pale white and ice cold. And all this stuff. And then he says,
I'm just Minnesotan.
Wait. You're 17. How long have you been 17? A while. Say it out loud, vampire. And then he tries to scare her with running really fast and sparkling, but of course she's like, that's so hot. Why would I be scared? Then they go to Edward's house and meet the fam, and their host is like amazing, and they're all trying to be nice to her, except for Rosalie, who's like being mean. And then we come to two of them. We're getting close to two of the most iconic times. He takes her outside and he says, you better hold on tight, spider monkey. And then they go like riding on his back, and they like see the beautiful sights, and he's telling her all about his vampirism. So then this is the most iconic part in the movie, the baseball scene.
Oh my god.
In a field, and Supermassive Black Hole by Muse is playing. But then another group of rival vampires comes, and they see that Bella's human, and then they want a snack. And I forgot to mention that these vampires have like been terrorizing the town and killing people, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, what are these animals?"
Oh, yeah. Okay, right. So the Cullen family only eats animals.
Yes, I forgot to mention that.
And the other ones are eating humans, and they're like coming in on their territory.
Yeah. So like the Cullens they call themselves vegetarians because they only eat animals. You know, it's kind of ironic. They don't eat people; they eat animals.
Right.
So the baseball team,
like they're not satisfied, right? That's like they're not
fully satisfied, but like they're like fine because they're like moral. We have a soul.
Yeah.
So then James, one of the vampires, is like wants to eat Bella. So they're like running her all around, and they decide the safest place for her to go is Phoenix. Right? No, Florida. I don't remember. Somewhere far away. And Jasper and Alice take her there. But then she gets a call, and it's James pretending that he has her mom captive. So he's like, you need to meet me at this dance studio. It was her old dance studio. So there she goes, and he, tries to eat her. But then, of course, the Cullens show up. Bella gets bit, but Edward has to suck out the poison. Obviously, for some reason, he had to do it. And, he doesn't kill her. But she has a lot of injuries. She goes to the hospital, and Edward's there, and he's like, I'll keep you safe forever. And then they go to prom, and wow. and that's
Yeah.
what and that's what you missed on Glee.
Great.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
That's what happened in the first one. And I'm referencing this mainly off the movie because I've seen the movies more recently. I
Right.
haven't read the books like literally since middle school, maybe high school, early high school.
Yeah, so there probably a lot happened in between all those things.
Well, yeah, I left some stuff out, and there's probably some stuff in the book that I like. One thing I remember vividly from the book was the scene. Oh, I forgot the meadow. You know, the iconic meadow that's like their meadow.
Yeah.
Also, he plays a song for on piano. There's some stuff that I left out, but in the meadow, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, in the book when they go on that date where he takes her to the meadow, for some reason a detail in the book is that they both showed up and they were wearing the same outfit.
What?
It was like khaki pants and like a white sweater or something like really ugly. It was something like
the 2000s. Like
yeah, it was like so ugly.
Stephenie was writing, then she goes, "Oh, it's just so the energy, the sexual tension of just wearing the same outfit."
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I need to see how many chapters this book has.
It's probably quite a few.
Yeah, they were big. They were thickies. They were big books.
But like quick reads, like I vividly remember my brother just like pounding them out like in a day.
I can't believe your brother read them.
Yes, like my brother read them, my mother read them, and then I read them. And even though they weren't like dirty, like they felt dirty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were romantic. Okay, Twilight has 24 chapters.
That's it?
Yeah.
Dang.
You must have a lot of chapters.
Okay, but so this book here, obviously, like, but this is Breaking Dawn.
I know that one is so thick.
This is one chapter, and that's 22 pages. That's it.
Yeah.
So like this one's got to be like, oh my God, I don't even know.
Over 1,000, I'm pretty sure.
There's 7. Apparently, there's 7 chapters in this one.
In that giant book.
Oh, it's because it's broken up. I forgot.
Wait, but how many pages is it?
Altogether, find it.
She's holding Breaking Dawn.
There's a vampire index at the end.
Oh my God, I remember that.
It's 754 pages.
Oh, okay, I was off. Maybe I was thinking of the Bible. Same thing. Same thing.
Oh my God.
What is everyone's hopes? What are you expecting from Midnight Sun? AKA, which, if anyone doesn't know, is Twilight from Edward's perspective.
I'm like expecting like a section of it to just kind of be a little bit boring and dry, but it's just like where he's like sitting, like trying not to smell her.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm really excited for that portion, but it's gonna be like a lot of him going.
Yeah.
I hope like it goes more into his past and like when.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like it's gonna do.
Yeah, and like when like when they go to the house for dinner and like they pass out his like caps from graduation. I hope like you know, like things like that he can bring up like, oh, I remember this one graduation and this person I met and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah,
just a little bit more.
Do you think it will be more or less angsty than Bella's recollection?
Oh my God, I feel like before Bella jumps in, I think it might be less. It might just be more actual like not angsty, but more aggressive. I'd say maybe like his thoughts and all that.
Yeah.
And then once Bella jumps in, then it's gonna be super angsty.
Yeah. So like part of this did leak, like a draft of this, literally like 12 years ago, but I never read that leaked draft, so I have no idea.
Okay.
What it's gonna be. All I know is it's from Edward's perspective, and I can't wait.
And we have. When did you say it's coming out?
I think like August 4th or something. August something. June, July. It's like 3 months.
Oh my God.
This is gonna be fun.
We're gonna
But,
read so much, and then we have to watch the movies and talk about it because
cool.
we're gonna go through this really fast.
Also, for you listening at home, this is in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic that this idea sparked. Just like the Spanish flu that caused Edward to become a vampire.
Yes,
we all will become vampires throughout this process.
Yeah. Wait, I have a good question. Would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf?
Vampire.
I would like to be a vampire, but I would, if I could, only if I could choose my like extra ability.
Sure.
If I couldn't, then I would probably be a werewolf.
See, I would be a werewolf, even though I'm so Team Edward and I like the vampires better. I just don't want to live forever. So maybe I'll make them both
True.
after like 200 years or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I could start like my own like Illuminati type of something, in that time.
Your own coven.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. If we could like put in like witches into the whole scenario, I would be a witch before I would be those two.
Yeah.
Like obviously that wasn't really, was that in the books at all, or was it only
No.
vampires and werewolves?
It was just vampires and werewolves.
Okay.
But like it goes so much more into like the different, like all of vampires rather than like, I don't know. Like I feel like the amount of vampires that it talks about is way more expansive than like the different werewolves or like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one movie where they talk about Jacob's like family's past and everything.
Yeah, that's
that was New Moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the one where Edward's gone for most of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I don't care. It really was pretty good, but like I didn't care because Edward was barely in it.
Yeah. Except for at the end, that was so iconic.
I know, when she was running through Italy and it was really obvious that she wasn't wearing a bra.
Yes. Oh my God. No, and she's like running through all the birds and that like fountains in the way, and she's like, "Oh my God, I have to get to him." And he's sparkling, and one little kid saw him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like, "No."
Yeah, that was Yeah. But I remember the last movie came out when we were in high school, and so kind of like a lot of people had gotten over it, and I had gotten over it a little too, but I was still like I still liked it. And so I went to go see it, and I didn't drive yet because I was, like 15 or whatever. And my dad was gonna take me and my friend, but my friend like couldn't go at the last minute, so I literally went alone to watch Breaking Dawn Part 2. And I
Oh my
cried.
gosh! Like there's the two parts.
Yeah. So when I saw Part 2,
I saw Part 1 and Part 2. I saw Part 1 with my mom and my sister, and then I saw Part 2 with my just my mom.
Yeah. See, you guys had your families on board. My parents just thought it was so annoying.
No, dude, my mom read all the books. The only thing is we own Eclipse and Breaking Dawn, but we don't own Twilight and New Moon because she borrowed them from people from work.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
But yeah, no, like my sister read them, my mom read them. The majority of people I know have read them.
Yeah. Josh, did your sister read them?
I'm assuming so, but I really couldn't tell you for sure.
Yeah.
She could have read like maybe one of them,
Yeah, I don't know.
But like I feel like most people now have seen, at least they've seen Twilight, even if they're watching it as a joke,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I think she probably did because I think she was I think she wasn't like obsessed, but like she was into them. And then because I remember I bought her like Vampires Suck, which is this like parody movie.
Oh, I am aware of Vampires Suck.
So I think I bought that for her as like a present once. I don't know.
That movie was really not good.
That was not good.
No, remember when Jacob turns into a chihuahua?
No, I
Oh
don't.
my god.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
And she's like, say, and Edward's like, say it. And she's like, you're a Jonas brother.
Oh yeah, I remember that. People really, really, really hated Twilight though. Like boys.
Really hated. What's that actress's name?
Robert Pattinson.
No, actress. That
Oh,
played.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really did. I don't like her. I'm so sorry.
I feel like I think now she's become, obviously it's been quite a bit of time, but she's changed into a different type of actress and is a different person now. But like, yeah, no one really like understood her back then enough to be like, oh, she's just a weird, quirky person. I don't really like her, you know?
I actually liked her better in Twilight than I do now. But yeah, and now Robert Pattinson hates Twilight. They all talk about how they hate it. But also now he's gonna be Batman.
He's what?
You didn't know that Robert Pattinson is the next Batman in the new Batman movies.
I don't think I like that.
Yeah, it's weird.
I feel like he would be better as the Joker than Batman.
Yeah, I could see that.
We hate to see it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, and join us next time as we dive into the first 3 chapters of Twilight.